What's happening, people? Hope you're vibing. Hope you've got a good vibe. That is for sure. We thought we'd switch it up. Got to get a little bit more professional, haven't we? Let's see if this lighting is okay. Let's have a look. Not sure about that tone. How are we, people? How are we? Not sure about that tone. Think this will do. Yeah, that'll do, people. So, how are we, people? I hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, we'll you know, a lot of you have liked the new beat, so we'll try and keep messing around and add new bits and bobs, etc. But mainly, I hope everyone is doing good today. Again, let me just sort this lighting out, people, because I'm not happy about it. I've been rushing around this morning. No, it's not the double. No, listen, I don't know what it is. Can anyone tell me what this is? Because everyone keeps asking. It's some night top. And everyone says, "Is it real? Is it real? What is it, friend?" I'm like, I got it. It's some limited edition thing, and every time it's got 2 ticks, everyone thinks I'm going mad. So how we doing, everyone? Hope everyone is good. Switched it up with a little bit of beat at the minute, give you a bit of time to get into the stream, etc. And today could be a tasty one. A few of us could clash on a few things we're going to speak about today, but it's all love. It is all love. So who is in the chat already? Social as always. Halbeast, Josh Bumber saying nice. Social loves a little beat. Halbeast saying Franny G. Sulak, I like the introduction. Yeah, just to get us in the mood. Before was very intense. So, you know, we have to keep moving with the times and switch it up every so often. Damn, my vision gone with a blur with a double tick. Oh, the R8 Fran in the gym. I was watching Curtis's stream yesterday, and he was telling a story, and a lot of people in the chat thought it was me, but it was not me. It was not me. Very close, but it was not me. That is for sure. But yeah, we've took it back today. Gone from, you know, old man settings to mid-20 settings. Cap, bit of drill beats in the background. We've gone down that route today, people. Fran, gravy beats would be perfect for your streams, bro. I'll check it out. Use the beat from the 10 Downing Street Christmas pot. I mean, I don't know if you followed my tweet yesterday, but if you've not followed me on Twitter, make sure you do. Frenny Green 6. Boris Johnson does not want to hear about any Christmas parties again. That is for sure. That is for sure. Oh, mate. And also, all he keeps saying is, I tell you what, everybody, keep getting jabbed, keep getting boosted, and we'll let you know how it goes. You couldn't make it up. It's absolutely farcical at the moment. It really is. Appreciate everyone coming in. Probably a different crowd today because of the time. And the reason I'm doing it earlier today, everyone, just in case you're wondering, got a bit of running around. It's my son's birthday tomorrow, so we've got a little bit of running around to do. Go and see some family today. But I thought I do not want to miss a stream. That is for sure, because we missed one yesterday. And tomorrow, with it being his birthday, you may not be able to get me on. However, if it is, it could be an earlier time like today. So EL has put big up Fran. Not often I can catch a live. That's the good thing sometimes when you switch it up. Different people can catch lives. Craig, as always, I think Craig just has his phone and his laptop with him all the time. Always there. Unbelievable. Love it. He's put, afternoon, Fran, can't stay. I've got a Zoom meeting to help with my progress. Okay, well, we know what that's about. Obviously, me and you know. So that's a lot more important, okay? So, you know, do that, no problem. And again, if you need to reach out, as you know, always reach out. Not a problem. Grant's in the building. He's put big up Fran. Daz, as always, big up the community. Marvo, Chelsea, Fanny, he always comes in to give us some stick. Nice profile pic, Fran. Same, I just finished watching Curtis stream and then I see you all in black. Lawrence has put excited for the morning stream. Great way to start the day. Love it. I actually prefer the intense beat. Very science fiction. Yeah, a few people didn't. I thought we've got that now. So many people are used to it. And if you know me already, I always like to try and keep changing things. I probably don't stay with things for long enough, but I don't know. I just like to spice things up. I get bored of things and life if I'm always not trying to do things. So sometimes people don't like change, and I get it. They get used to a certain thing, but I thought we'd get a longer timer, get a different picture up, get some beats, and then we'll take it from there. And I thought it maybe looked a little bit professional, but I hear what you're saying, Sulak. I hear what you're saying. It can be an intense and gets us going. Excuse me if I keep fiddling with the hat, but it annoys me. You know, when your hat's not straight, it's one of those. It's one of those things. Big up Mr. Bungle. Big up Eros. I hope everyone is well. And as you've seen by the thumbnail today, we are going to speak about the Three Amigos. I think we should call them the Three Amigos. I probably should have put the Three Amigos on the old thumbnail because I think we've got problems. I honestly do think, right, people, that we have got some problems. And it sounds really harsh, in case he would not be happy, but I think the problems are the manager. And it sounds obvious, that does, doesn't it? It sounds obvious what I'm trying to say. But, you know, when people look to the Kroenkes, people look to the players, and we're going to get into that. Players need to take responsibility, and people look at other aspects. But I truly believe, yeah, OCD settings on the hat, honestly. But I truly believe that the manager is the cause of not all, because that's wrong for me to say, and that would be wrong. But the cause of a major problems at the minute in many different areas, and I think we need to add balance to every single argument that we have, discussion that we have, because it's unfair. And at times, you could probably say I've been unfair on Pepe. And I think it's very important that we touch on Pepe in a lot of detail in this video. And I know a lot of people are Pepe fans. A lot of people are Pepe fans. And I think it's only fair that we have a proper talk. We need a conversation. We need to sit down and have a conversation about this. So, as always, people, if you are new, I know a lot of people watch the videos and not subscribed yet. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the like. We've had a little blast in maybe the last 2-3 weeks, another 20, 30 subscribers, whatever it may be. So, welcome each and every one of you. If you are here, if not, and you are watching the stream later on, again, I appreciate your time because time is very valuable. Actually, you know, because I'm a little bit of a bookworm, today's philosophy Stoic one was, where are we? The 9th. Time is our most irreplaceable asset. We cannot buy more of it. We can only strive to waste as little as possible. So I know your time is very, very valuable because I make my time one of the most, if not the most important thing for me. So again, sorry for getting the books out. I know some of you are like, oh, here he goes with his books, but it really, really gives us, you know, a little reminder that time is very... Here we go again. Well, I'm the opposite to you, aren't I? Which way? There we are. Got it. Oh, no. It's hard doing it in the camera when I'm opposite to you. Right, we've got it. Yeah, quick reminder about time. So, again, I really appreciate it. I'm waffling on settings. So, let's get into it, people. And I'm going to start with Partey. What is going on with Partey? What is going on, people? We have experienced players, but they're not experienced as such, are they? They're not a Milner. They're not a who else? An Ashley Young. They're not David Luiz. They're not Thiago Silva. They're not experienced at that level. Only Aubameyang is probably the only one who is experienced at that level. But Partey, because I suppose he's one of the senior players, even though he's not exactly old. He's not experienced in England. He's not experienced in the Premier League, but people would see him as an experienced player. So I'm going to start on Partey. What is going on with Partey, people? And I want to hear what you've got to say. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? The most common one that I hear from the fan base is he's having to play a different role and he's doing too much running, or the dynamics are not there for him at Atletico. For me, that would be the obvious one. That would be the obvious one for me. And if that's the case, if that is the case, okay, if it's not away from football, personal issues, diet, whatever it may be, lifestyle, whatever it may be, if it's not those things. And it is down to basically the team. By the way, let me know if my mic is okay, volume. If it is that, then it is fully down to Arteta. And because one thing about Partey, people, he does work hard, he does try, but it's not quite working for him. It's not quite working for him. And you do not become a bad player overnight. You do not become a bad player overnight. So there's many aspects of the game that we could talk about Partey, but I'm really interested about what you've got to say, Partey, before we dissect and try and pick into a lot of your comments. So let me just rewind a little bit and have a look. Only Partey knows. Fran, you're spot on. He is tactically inept and has poor man management skills. We need a ball-playing centre midfielder, a good creative midfielder, and things may change. And I fully agree. And I'm sure Arteta, etc., would and can see that Partey in a different midfield would be dangerous, would be top. And as much, by the way, as he's been awful, and he has been awful, I truly believe that in a different midfield, or even just a different partner with more cohesion, more fluidity, and the system, because we're going to have to talk about the system in all three of these players today, and the system benefits our midfielders. Games are won and lost majority of the time over the course of a season in the middle of the park. So Sean's put, he genuinely overall doesn't seem settled. You know, we don't exactly know what's going on away from the game, but we will touch on that. Grant's put, I think Arteta is using him as a holding and he is a box-to-box. I think that's the most common one, what a lot of people have said. Partey doesn't look anything like the Partey Atletico. He's not even doing the basics right. I mean, that's a scary thing. Kuna Matata's popped in and said, did you talk to Mason Holgate? Obviously, he won against Martinelli and Saka. He's very good. Mason's good. He like I said before he got injured under Ancelotti, because he was playing every week, Gareth Southgate was basically going to put him in he was very close to getting in the England squad, and then he got a bad injury. It's changed. Benitez has come in. He's lost his place. He got sent off. He's a bit rash. He's little bit unsettled when it comes to, and a bit unhappy that he's not playing, because he was playing every game. But I've not spoken to him actually about. I've not spoken to him since the game, to be honest. You know, it's like when you're trying to get older footballers, mate. It's very hard. I can tell you that. I must put, Partey has been seduced by the London life and chilling with the cash rolling in. That could be a very good point. Marvo's put, Partey being bang average at Arsenal. I still remember the hype when he was signed. There was a lot of hype. Sulak's put, Partey is experienced at the highest level. He has won the UEFA Cup and La Liga, yet he is struggling under Arteta. One, Sulak, he's not used to the Premier League because it's different. It's less technical, but a lot quicker. However, he still understands the game. The game fundamentals and the game basics don't change no matter where you are around the globe. Obviously, the style of play, the cohesion, the fluidity, the pressures have changed, etc. So there could be a few elements in that, but we'll see what you got to say, and then I think we'll break it down a few options. If you have a manager you believe in, you would run through brick walls. I mean, yeah, that people don't understand the power a manager has when players believe in what he wants them to do. It's just incredible, honestly, from my experience. FN has put, Fran, do you think Partey is a confidence player? He could be. I'm not going to be the first to sit here and say, by the way, I've seen a lot of him in Atletico, because I didn't. I didn't watch Atletico a lot. I just seen, the clips, etc. So I'm not going to turn and say he is or he isn't, because I don't know. But there's only a few who are not confidence players, and they're normally the best of the best of the best. They'll just continue to do what they do. They do repetition, and it's just engraved and biohacked to their mind that a Ronaldo, a Messi, a Ibrahimovic, all these players, it's ingrained in their mind that confidence is not a problem. I'll just keep doing my job and the results will happen. But there's not many like that. So again, could be a confidence issue. He's he hasn't had a proper run in the team because of injuries. Another reason, can't quite get going. He's a confidence player, Fran. Arteta has taken the confidence away. Seems to be a very common theme, by the way. You're really setting as a task today, Fran. How can we explain a system that barely exists? That is true. Fran Partey had no chance against Mace. Mace did well when he come on. A little bit crazy at times, Mace. But you know, we'll see how Mace gets on for the rest of the season. I'm praying that he can just get a run in the game in the team, because now they've had that win and Mina looks injured. I'm hoping that they do go back for get Mace back in the squad. Change of setup and playing colleagues. 2, change of intensity in the league. 3, direction from the manager. Nail on the head, probably. We have seen Partey performing very well sometimes, and also most of the time. Why this is Arteta player. Partey is likely caught between his natural defensive role he used to, and also he's not good enough to fulfill what Arteta is asking him to do. Salman has put, morning all, I'm done with this club. Salman's done. Salman has done. I'm done with this club and team. The problem with everyone at this club is no one has any you-know-what. Fully agree. Partey partying like it's 1999. Chelsea, Australia's in the building. As always, great support. Be nice to the Chelsea fan. I don't think it's Partey. I think it's Arteta. You know from when players don't believe in a manager, their level of drops because they just don't put it in because the manager don't appreciate them. And we know people. I always put, no, your workplace is no different to probably being a footballer. Listen, people say, well, they get paid this much money. They're living their dream. They still have psychological blocks and psychological frustrations and emotional attachments to the way that we would do everyday work. When I was a footballer, I had the same problems as you probably get later on in life, not as many, but I just dealt with them in a completely different way than I would do now, you know? All these players lost confidence in Arteta with his approach and the game, and they all play with their heads down, I believe. There's a big point. King, as always, in the building. Great knowledge. We had a great member stream with King Jack and Social yesterday. So if you're not a member already, make sure you support the channel. We are going to be doing a lot more members content as well. So really appreciate that if you want to jump on board, and we'll really kick on in 2022. I think it's a combination of bad management, wrong style of play, Partey being overrated, a new lifestyle. All the players are struggling, to be fair. Very true. And Kuda Matata has put, look at Rudiger and Christian let Chelsea down because they don't sign contract. Now, and Christian let Chelsea down. Listen, when it comes to signing a contract, people, you've got to think about, and we'll go back to Partey quickly, but you've got to think about, does it suit that individual? Would you commit yourself to a position in life that it doesn't suit you or your family? Regardless whether people are being greedy or regardless, at the end of the day, when it comes to contracts, the ball is in their court. So when you're in a situation in life and you hold all the cards, you would be foolish not to try and maximize that position, because they only come around once every so often, and in football they only come around once probably. So we have to look at players when it comes to contracts negotiation. Now, we've got a problem with Nketiah, who wants more money, wants ridiculous money, but he's looking out for himself and his future self. So we can't really hold that against them, because as soon as a club wants to get rid of you, you're out the window, you're gone, you know. So a lot of opinions on Partey, which is great, people. A lot of opinions, and I can only do an hour today, so we need to move on quickly because we know we're going to have to do Pepe. Let me talk about in what I think about Partey. We've got an issue. We've got one. I think he's being asked to do a job that he's not familiar with, and to be honest, probably is not good enough to do, which is maybe holding, trying to get on the ball, trying to switch play, trying to spray, trying to break lines. He's not that type of midfielder. Technically, he is not that type of midfielder. So one, he's being asked to take full responsibility to do all these midfield jobs, break the lines to Odegaard, get it off the back four, hold, tackle, with no protection. Because you've seen what happens when in the middle of the park we're exposed. With no protection, just no protection. That's all down to the manager, in my opinion. I'm actually going to stick up for Partey quite a lot, because yes, he's had injuries. Yes, we don't know whether he's adapted to this lifestyle of being a multimillionaire now, from 40 grand, I believe, to 180 to 190, which is ridiculous. Why Arsenal pay these wages for, let's be honest, not amazing players. However, that's a big mindset shift in life, going from 40 to that. You gotta see it as, now, if you're on £500 a week and you go to £2,500 a week, you may change as a person. You may change, and if you're not careful and you don't work on self-development, you could become not a nice person. Trust me, been there, without knowing. So that's another issue. Lifestyle. London is a 24-hour city. 24-hour city, you know. So I think there's a lot of problems, but the main one for me, people, and a lot of you have said it already, I truly believe that he just does not believe in what Arteta is doing with him and with the way that we are playing. He's asking him to do jobs he can't do, and then he might go on social media after and see that he's getting hammered on social media. And he's playing with an injury in a position that, or you're asking him to do things that he doesn't normally do. For me, that's down to the manager. As poor as he has been, right, I am actually going to stick up for him a little bit and say he's been put in a position that he is not clearly comfortable with. He's not comfortable with. And Arteta might say he sees people in training. Listen, this training nonsense, I've seen the worst trainers and I've seen the best trainers. It's nonsense. I want to know what you do on a pitch on 90 minutes. Training helps. Training gives you a good attitude. Training can get the, butter the bagel for the manager. Training can do all that. But ultimately, when you get on that pitch, if you aren't not doing the job, then you're not doing the job. You're not doing the job, are you, people? It's as simple as that. A few of you have said Arsenal has to pay big bucks to attract the players, and that problem, I think we're getting held to ransom. Wizkid Concerts, Hey Juice is saying, I think money just highlights who you really were to begin with. It doesn't change you. Very true. I think it does. It kind of brings out things in you that you didn't know you had. I'm going to tell you, obviously, about me. When I used to get a little bit of money, and I'm not talking thousands, I'm not talking big money, but if, for example, I get a nice signing on fee, I get the new car, and I'd get the new drip, I would automatically think that I was untouchable. I would be getting speeding tickets. I would be getting parking tickets. I would be giving it large portions to the police. I'll be giving it large portions to the women, large portions to geezers on nights out. Thought I could fight the world. And then on a Saturday, walking out in the stadium, getting clapped, oh, Franny, all this stuff. I was giving it large portions. And I would make serious mistakes in my private life that cost unhappiness for family and eventually for me. And it's because I didn't keep an eye on the ball, and it revealed that when I get certain amounts of money or any type of money, I give it the Billy Big Balls. And I was like, I got to change this. And it wasn't until I went broke that I actually thought, if I ever come into a little bit of money again, or I get paid from a certain job, or I get a little bit of status, I must make sure my mindset is completely different. Otherwise, I'm going to have the same spiral. And as you get older, life's not as good. Life's not as generous, should I say. That six-pack goes, all the attention from, the ladies or whatever might go, it all changes. So you got to change. And again, it was money that highlighted that. I mean, and I always say, thank Adonai that I never went to the Premier League on 50, 60, 70 grand a week. And I'm grateful for that, because it would have ruined my life. At that stage, it would have ruined the way that I was, where I've come from. It would have ruined my life. So it's a big point. It's a big point. And we need psychologists, self-development, and people that are consistently helping these players, because they're young millionaires with no real self-development skills. Because you don't have to do that when you're young, But yeah, it's a very, very good point you make. He's been managed by an elite manager in Simeone, as he knows good and managed, so he may not rate Arteta. Very good point. He's gone from a very, very disciplined coach who don't take no nonsense to a coach who he can get away with. He can get away with stuff, you know. Josh has put, hello, Fran. Partey is supposed to steal the ball and pass it back to our most advanced players, not try and create chances. Bang on. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. Fran would be buying everyone. Listen, if I was on that money, honestly, back then, I mean, if you think Aubameyang's, you know, giving it large, mate, I had a pink hair back then. I remember when Bathing Ape came out, I thought I was Bobby Valentino. I thought I was T.I. Pharrell Williams. Honestly, mate, it would have just been chaos. Absolute chaos. I don't know if you know that. Some of you don't know, maybe in the chat, that I used to have tattoos on my neck and on my hands. And back then, tattoos on your neck and your hands wasn't really a thing. You can't really see it now. You could probably just see a little bit there, but I've had laser and I had a tattoo here, just because you change as you get older. But I was thinking of getting tattoos on my face. You wouldn't believe it now, honestly, the way that I am now. But you grow up and you change. But I'd have been a mess. I'd have been like the Island Boys. I'd have been like them. Trust me. Bro, being a footballer is a lottery, man. Your life's sorted. It's great because you live in a dream, but it can also be a curse. Trust me. It's been a curse for a lot of people I know. They've ended up. It's been bad for them, especially since they retired. Yeah, tattoos on your face. Yeah, honestly, man, honestly. Whatever you've been through, you've ended up a winner with a lovely family, and thank you, Moona, really haven't. And it's been hard. You know, you keep going in your hard work, and this is just the beginning for me for a new life. That's the old chapter. This is a new life for me, and people like yourselves make it all worth the while. So. Moving on. Partey, I think it's a mixture of a few things, but ultimately, I believe Arteta is playing him in the wrong position or asking him to do the wrong job. We then move on to Pepe, people, because I know this one's going to take us 15, 20 minutes. We've spoke about Pepe quite a lot, haven't we? You know, I've said he's a flop. You know, I've said I'm not having him. He gets on my nerves. He doesn't work hard enough. He shows no desire. He's lazy. He's drippy. He's not got the mind. All the things that I have absolutely, you know, I've gone ham on him. I've gone ham. Fran was moving like it. I actually thought I was. I thought I was T.I. I'm not going to lie. I actually thought when the King video came out, I actually thought I was T.I. Probably about 22. I just got a new Merc. I used to watch videos. I used to dress like him, and I'd go out and I thought I was T.I. Honestly, it worked. I had a great time. But Pepe. Now, there's some things with the stats. A lot of his goals were against poor teams. We get that, etc. Now, one thing I am going to say about Pepe, right? He has ridiculous talent. Ridiculous, right? And we all know the saying. You see it on a Monday morning when everyone puts an inspirational Instagram post up. You know, it's not about motivation. You know, talent doesn't outbeat motivation, or whatever it is. Talent doesn't outwork whatever it is. Beat hard work, whatever. Right? Now, the best kid I ever seen was Ravel Morrison. To this day, I know Jermaine Pennant. I remember Wiltshire when he was young, Jack Grealish when he was 15, Iwobi when he was 15, who was frightening. All these players. But Ravel Morrison is the most talented player I've ever seen in my life. But his core beliefs as a child got in the way of him being able to deal with football life. Because it's very hard to deal in the football world, by the way. It's not as simple as, oh, well, you're getting paid to do what you love. You go training, you hang out, you get nice girls, you pop champagne and all that, and you can hang around with rappers with gold chains. It looks like that from the outside. But inside, it's a very introvert, kind of lonely place to be at times. Especially when you're not playing, especially when you're injured, especially when you're not doing well, especially when there's reports in the papers, especially when you don't want to be in a relationship with a woman, but you have to stay in that relationship because of football and all these kind of things. Okay. But Pepe is ridiculously talented, right? And we can see that with a certain type of manager, we could have a completely different Pepe. Now, it's interesting, Curtis yesterday was talking about Bayern Munich were favourites to sign Pepe, I believe. And once they did a very intensive report, they realised that he was a counter-attacking winger. And I've never really thought of it as in down detail like that. And that makes fully sense to me. He is a player who gets the ball on the run, gets the ball where maybe the fullback is out of position, because he's not one for taking players on. And I've been guilty for a very long time. I've been guilty for saying, why does he not take the winger on? Why does he not take the ringer on? Why does he not burn the fullback alive? Why is he not tracking back? Why is this? Because that's the fundamentals of the English game. That's what I was growing up on. That's how I was told to play. And he's not that type of player. Now, he's not an Arteta player, for one. He's not an Arteta player, is he? He's not an Arteta player. He's an Emre player. And we know Emre wanted, or whatever, Sahar, whatever happened in that run. So not only is he not a Arteta type player, he's not comfortable playing for Arteta. So Arteta does not trust him. That then leads into when people's argument is, yeah, but Fran has not had a fair crack at the whip. Now, he's been there 2 years. He has had a fair crack at the whip. He's just not produced the attributes and the results that Arteta wants him to see. That's what he's produced. He's produced the results that some would say, well, Fran, he's got assists, he's got goals. He's got that. He's got something about him. He's got that, which in another team would be excellent, I believe, right? Because I think, by the way, I think Pepe would work a lot harder with a different manager who trusts him. I do think that, because I'm going back to the way if I was playing, that's what I would do. So when people say he's not been given a chance, he has been given a chance, but what Arteta wants him to do, he has not done. So that's why he's in for 4 games, out. He's in for 5 games, out. He's in for 2 games, out. And for the player, and I'm going to tell you something now, people. I'm going to tell you something now. I am telling you this happens because it happens to all footballers. We've had conversations about it, etc., etc. We've had all conversations about this, okay? When a player goes onto a football pitch and he's already thinking, doesn't really matter what I do, I'm probably going to get dropped next week. Or he says to himself, I have to be the best player by a mile just to make sure I might start next week. That's downhearting. Then fear kicks in. Then he doesn't, then signs of anxiety kick in. Then he doesn't produce. Then he might try and overdo things. Try too hard. You've seen it when players try too hard. It ends up going wrong for them. You know, so again, there's a lot of different elements of why Pepe's not working, but ultimately, the reason Pepe will more than likely end up being a flop in the long run for 72 million is because what Arteta wants him to do is not his game. And if I'm going to sit here and stick up for Partey and say Partey's not playing well because Arteta is asking him to do something that he can't do, it's only right that I do stick up for Pepe to a certain degree. I do think he should work harder. It's only to a certain degree that I should stick up to Pepe in certain areas and say it doesn't matter if he is playing for Arteta for 100 years. It will not work because he is not that type of player. And I think that's straight down the middle. I think people need to understand that it's not because he's poor. And it's not because he's poor that I go mad at him. It's because I want to see something with him. So he says to Arteta, you know what? I am going to do what you asked me to do. I am going to slightly change my game. I'm going to run as hard as I can. I'm going to blaze that fullback every single time I get the ball, or attempt to blaze the fullback every single time. And I'm going to make you rely on me. I'm going to allow you to rely on me. When a manager does that, when a player does that, he all of a sudden, the manager says, I can trust him now. I can trust him now. Now, a lot of people compare Pepe to Saka. You can't, because the manager trusts Saka. Saka has got the manager's trust by, even when it's not going right, by doing the work that Arteta wants him to do. So he trusts him. Just if you've got a business, you're going to trust the employee who shows you signs that he's doing what you ask them to do. That's what you're going to do. So when people look at stats, and I think Rollright's saying some stats here, stats and things like that, because he's not doing the off-the-ball work that Arsenal need him to do at the moment, by the way. They need him to do at the moment, by the way. Arteta doesn't play him. The stats are kind of misleading because it's a tricky one. And then people compare the stats to Saka. But all you need to compare with Saka is the reason is Saka a better player than Pepe? I don't think he is. I don't think he's a better footballer than Pepe. Is he more effective in an Arteta team than Pepe? Yes. And that's why Arteta would pick him. When you are a forward-thinking player, if anyone in the chat is a forward or a winger or that exciting kind of player who wants to get forward, the minute the manager asks you, today I'm going to have to ask you to double up with a fullback, you think it's just going to be a shift, the graveyard shift, or you're going to have to play up top on your own like Aubameyang. I've been there. I spent 2 seasons basically helping the right back double up every time. Ever at the end of the season said, Fran, you've only got 12 goals. And so many assists, and you're right wing stroke striker. I say, yeah, you're not understanding. The reason the manager plays me every single game is because I stop anything going down the right side because I double up every time. Now, if I didn't do the double up, I'd probably score more goals, but I wouldn't have played as much, you know? Rollright's put 24 starts last season, 10 goals, 5 assists. Name a player we have not passing those numbers. And again, we won't have players who get better numbers than that. However, it's not about that why he's not playing. There's many of, and also on the flip side, now he's definitely got into a rhythm where, listen, I don't like Arteta. He don't like me. I'm done with this. I'm on a pay packet. I'm on a 2-3 year deal left, whatever. I'm 72 million. I ain't going nowhere. Ball's in my court, whatever. That's what's happening. So we're in a serious situation with Pepe, with another one who could be gone on a free if we don't do something. Because what they're going to do, they're not going to take 25, 30 million for him, are they? What do we do? What do we do? And that's why I believe we have to keep him involved. We can't be putting Eddie and Nketiah ahead of him, people. We cannot be putting Eddie and Nketiah ahead of Pepe. At the moment, if I'm Kroenke's, I'm asking, what is going on with Pepe? I paid 72 million for him. I've given him this amount of money. We are dire at the moment. We can't score no goals. He got all those assists. He got goals last year. Regardless whether you don't think he's the right player for you, Arteta, all right? We've got a problem on our hands. What are you going to do about it? That's the first thing that I would be saying if I'm the owner of the football club. Pepe is a luxury player, Rion. He is a luxury player. And we can't afford luxury players at the moment. And that's why Pepe needs to do his side of the job. But I don't think we're ever going to get that side out of Pepe. Why all of a sudden are we just going to get that side out of Pepe? He's not going to, is he? You know, that's him. That's how he's played. That's how he's got to this level. Is he all of a sudden going to become, up and down like a James Milner? No, he's not going to. Because if he did do James Milner's side and he had Pepe, he would be talked about as one of the best players in the world at the moment, So it's funny that we got with Pepe, and we spoke about Pepe a lot, but I've got to back off a little bit and kind of go and get my football head on rather than the fan head and say, actually, there's a lot of things are not working out for him. However, He has had the opportunity, but he's just not done what Arteta wants him to do. And how is he going to get around that? We've got a problem with Pepe. A big problem. Jansen's in the building is saying, now tuning in from work, a big up, Fran. Robbie World is saying, we just have to get rid of Arteta. It's that simple. And I fully agree. All these problems stop when we get rid of Arteta. I'm telling you now. I am telling you now, people. We really need to. And people just can't see it. I really like what Edu has been doing. I think he was giving this club a new life. It's a shame his pick hasn't been able to manage those players. Listen, the model of what they want to do, I like the model. We just need one or two experienced midfielders and another centre forward. That's all we need, by the way. And I'm not sure about we'll challenge top four, but we'll be on the way. We would have got a nice core. However, we've got the wrong manager to do this because he's inexperienced. He's never done this before. If I apply to Google tomorrow and say, right, I want to become one of the main guys in development department or whatever they do, they're going to say, well, wait a minute, you've only done YouTube videos, played football on the radio, and you do a little bit of trading to pay the bills. Like, what? You've got no chance. They probably laugh at me. They probably laugh straight in my face. You know, South London's finest, big shout out to South London's finest saying, yo, Fran, did you look at Pep's playing history? He started off a professional system in Pepe, I imagine, in France, late, I think, 18. That's why when you look at him, he lacks the fundamentals. Good point. Never really looked at that, but good point. It's always interesting when you look deeper into a player, their journey, where they've come from, that you can pick little gems out and to see why. You know, he looks like a player who... he's just, I always say, he's a cage player. Maybe that's why. Late in the system, didn't really know the fundamentals of positioning, tracking, and because he blasted and smashed up because he's so talented, gets to a point you're asking him to do thinking positions, can't do it because he's not got the knowledge. Maybe that's an issue. You ask Pepe to do something, he doesn't seem to want to do it. But listen, I think you put Pepe in a Man City team, and I know we say that about a lot of players, but I think you get a different work rate from him. I think he's excited. Can you be excited playing for this Arsenal team? I wouldn't. Alan, just arriving in France. No ambition from top down. Unfortunately, we are just on the roundabout. That's all we are. We're on a roundabout, people. And we'll keep having these conversations until we're blue in the face. We will. Oh, by the way, 85 in the chat. Now, for my channel, people, that is an unbelievable effort. Yesterday, we blasted through 100 likes. So if you've not already, make sure you hit the like because you know YouTube needs those likes. You know how it goes. But turnout today was unbelievable. I have noticed 1 o'clock streams get higher numbers. So it's something that we may have to start looking into, that 1 o'clock streams get higher numbers than 4:30. But then the 4:30 streamers may not be able to get in. So people... we're going to have to come up with something because we get mad love at the 1 o'clock. So I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out. As I say, very, very important that you take the time out. And if you missed it earlier, it is in today's Daily Stoke philosophy about time. It is of how precious your time is. So I appreciate that. Free transfers and people walking out equals no, you know what. That's true. It shows Arteta can't manage these players. Give Pepe to Gerrard. You will see a good Pepe. Listen, I don't automatically think Pepe would just turn around automatically and say, Pepe's going to be a workhorse. However, they would get more out of him. Great super chat from Everyday I'm Waffling. Love it. Coleman, Arteta, Mikel, Amatrain. Man management is awful. Awful. Absolutely awful. First of all, let me just say, really do appreciate the super chat. As we said, I know money is, and as small as it may be, it can be bigger to some people and small to others. To part with your money in this day and age when we are very, very in uncertain times, Big shout out to you and blessings to you and your family. Every day I am waffling. Absolutely love it. And thank you. Really do appreciate it. Smash the likes, people. That is what we're all about. J Dime is saying, big up, bro. Big up yourself. Navari is saying, people has all attributes of ABBA, but it's forced to play out wide. Janssen is saying, Pepe and Ødegaard will be among the Premier League best under Pep and Klopp. They'd be unbelievable as those two. Arteta has to go. No amount of recruitment will get him over the line. I think it can only go so far. And I think we're just a bit wound up. We're getting a little bit fed up. Fran for Edu's job. Listen, it's not an easy job. And it's always easier from when you're on the outside. When I do the Championship radio, I sound like Thierry Henry on the radio. Because it's a lot easier when you're watching the game. As we know, all of us in the chat, we're the best players in the world, aren't we? Come on now. I know you've told your partners or your kids or your friends, I'm a top footballer at one stage in your life, because it's easier when you're on the outside because of all the different fundamentals and elements that we say can get in the way. But you know, while we're on the outside, we can pretend to ourselves that we are the best players ever. That's for sure. Ten Hag and Overmars are available in the summer. I know what I'd be doing. I was owner bye-bye Arteta and Edu. I mean, I would... Now, that is some money that I would be throwing out big time to get them, because throwing money on players that are overpaid, whatever, can backfire. We've seen that. But on... coaching, a technical director, and people with savvy know-how, it's a big one for me. Osmond's put big up front. I think it's because you get more views from around the world at this hour. Maybe, but it does seem to work, and I appreciate all the global people. Sulak with a super chat as well. Again, blessings to yourself. And Sulak has said, a coach like Bielsa will never buy a player like Pepe if he doesn't have the fundamentals. And you're bang on. Pepe could never play in a Leeds team. And like I said earlier, and someone's just put it in the chat again, Curtis was saying yesterday, and I didn't know this, about Bayern very, very close and were favourites to buy Pepe. But when it went down to all the statistics, because football now, by the way, they really, when I was playing, you scored a few goals, you ran around, you got to move. Very different now. They look at everything. How you will settle in a different country. What are you like around teammates? Are you an introvert? Do you get involved with the banter? How you are with the coaching staff? Do you get involved with the middleman? They're just the basics. Then, is he a counter-attacking player? And apparently, when Bayern did all their statistics and all the stuff where they wrote down, they came to a conclusion that he was a counter-attacking winger, and they don't play counter-attacking football. So they decided to sign him. So you're bang on, Sulak. Absolutely bang on. And again, I always say, appreciate the super chat at this time. Really, really do. It means a lot from the bottom of my heart. It really, really does. It really, really does. Sulak has also put a coach. He's put it in there. Wanted to be seen. Big shout out. JJ has put Arsenal release a new retro kit. I've seen it. And it was my favourite kit, by the way, or one of my favourite kits. But you're not getting anything from me. No chance. Not a chance. Drew Hunter has put, hey, Fran, this time seems to work much better for you. It really, really does. It's something that we may have to look into, and then people may have to watch the repeats after. So yeah, we'll see. Big shout out to the Philippines. Perfect time for me. Big shout out. When I was in Dubai, I did deal with a couple of Philippine clients who had brought property in Dubai. So, you know, big shout out to all the Filipinos, or even if you're not Filipino, if you are a Filipino around the world, big shout out to you. Robbie has put his management may be awful, but at least he makes players he makes players better when they have already left. True. Very true. I remember Greg Grantsport. I remember phoning up Babe Station saying my retired footballer from Ayr United. My mum was fuming because it caused her £400 phone bill. If you don't know about Babe Station, everyone, by the way, it's the first of the kind wrong thing you should be looking at when you get to a certain age. None of that no more. That's for sure. But funny, yeah. Listen, I've got many. I've been on nights out with my friends who are not footballers, and the girls have come up to me and they've gone, "Yeah, your mate over there who plays for Blackburn, who plays for, and I just used to laugh. I used to say, yeah, him who plays for Blackburn. And because if you, by the way, if you said that he didn't play for Blackburn, the girl wouldn't talk to him. But as soon as you said, yeah, at the time, yeah, it was Blackburn, she was all over him. All over him. All over him. But yeah, it's a funny tactic. It seems to work a lot, by the way. Boyton's put too many people are off from under Arteta when the entire orchestra is off. Kiwi blame the conductor, not each and every musician. True, it's down to the manager, people. It's definitely down to the manager. Right, people. Aubameyang. Aubameyang, people. What are we going to do with Aubameyang? By the way, we've not got one problem. We've got three problems. We've got more than three. So we've got three players who we can't get a tune out of. We're not winning games against anyone decent. We've got no system. We've got no desire. We've got no hunger. And people are still trying to tell me it's the players. It's not the manager. Come on. It's going to have to get to the point where people say, I got it wrong. I'm lying now. Yes, the players, sorry for keep touching me up, but it keeps leaning to one side. It drives me crackers. OCD settings. I may have to get another cap. But I like this cap. Since put Ifran, we have 5 goal scorers in the team, including on the bench. Still, we can't score. How will this manager make the new striker score if we get one in Jan? Now, a lot of people are saying we're desperate for a new striker. Desperate. We're desperate for midfielders. Because King was saying the other day, you go around the other clubs, and by the way, I'm not even talking about the top 4 clubs. They've got about 6, 7 midfielders who would probably walk into our team or do a job. We ain't got none. We have no midfielders. And I'm like, how can we have no midfielders? And a club, when midfielders, by the way, if any of you have ever gone to any club when you're younger, everyone wants to play midfield, don't they? Up front or in midfield. Well, my day, it was up front because everyone wanted to score. Everyone wants to play midfield. You go to an academy now, or you go to any, even a Sunday league team. Everybody wants to play midfield because they have to run around less, they think. Everyone wants to play in midfield. So we've got to somehow get midfielders in this building because it's incredible. But Aubameyang. Someone's called him Aubameyang. Oh, when you say it, it sounds even funnier. Aubameyang. That's disrespectful, King. That's disrespectful. Oh, the chat. You crack me up, people. Honestly, you crack me up. J-Dice put, get Fran a cap. Yeah, I might have to tell the wife, get me a proper cap, a different cap. I only like this one because this waterproof stuff. Aubameyang. Oh, mate. Sorry I'm late. Lewis is saying big C settings. And then put, afternoon, Fran. All watching in the chat. Late to the show. Just back from the gym. Big shout out. Make sure you're beasting. Oh, the chat cracks me up. DJ, the pointers put, well, Fran, big up yourself and big up the chat. Big up to yourself. Blessings to you and the family, etc. Remind me on this one. Remind me on this Wijnaldum one, because Wijnaldum, for me, if we can get him on a free, again, he's not exactly the one who sprints around, but he knows the game. He'd be better than anyone else we've got, especially alongside Partey. So I would take Wijnaldum all day. Liverpool wanted to keep him. He left, and now he's probably thinking he needs to get back to the UK. I would definitely take Wijnaldum. 100%. I would take Wijnaldum. I would also take the risk on Dembele as well. I would also take Renato Sanchez, and I would also take Sterling, to be honest, because they're all better than what we've got, in my opinion. But sorry. Aubameyang, right? Aubameyang, right? Is, oh, mate. Listen, Aubameyang was okay. Aubameyang did well at times. Aubameyang. I seen a report, and it was coming. Listen, it was coming from talk sport. We all know talk sport, and most things are entertaining. We all know that, right? We all know that. However, they said if we got an Ozil situation, the only difference with Ozil is Ozil kind of wound the Chinese sponsors up, and then it sounds like he got told to obviously, leave him out and kind of make him leave the club, because that's normally what happens when you... I'd definitely take Van der Beek as well. We're not in a position to be turning down these players. I can tell you that, people. We are not in a position to be turning down these players. Now, the Ozil one was different. Ozil is a player that we know needs good players around him, because that's his job. His job was to create and link with players, and we got the ball to him. We had pace around him. We look at our team now, and I'm a massive fan of Ødegaard, but sometimes he's poor, don't get me wrong. But when Ødegaard gets a ball, no one looks to run him behind. Aubameyang does at times, but we got no pace. When Ozil you got pace, you got people linking up, exciting, people were scared of us, etc. So, and then Ozil, the team dwindled. He fell out of love with the club, didn't like the way that they treated him because of the Chinese thing, and he's very religious, etc., etc. However, the similarities are both got massive paychecks. When the club kind of needed to give them those contracts. The club needed to give Ozil that contract because of what happened with Sanchez and for the fan base. The club needed to give Aubameyang that contract because of the position that he was in, the season that he had, and the fans would probably go crazy, okay? The fans would probably go crazy. And those two players knew that. And those two players are at an age where it's final payday, people. It's final payday. It's payday. And that's it. That is it. Tubbs, I can't even say that. I can't even say this. I can't even say it. I know what you want. I know you're on about Agbonlahor, but I can't. Abagonglador. I can't even say it. I can't even say it, people. Oh, I can't even say it, people. But I'm going to have one more try. A Bangalore. I can't even say it. The chat. Roy PB's in the building. He said, how has Fran only got 2.6 subs? Crazy. Get them likes up, people, and subs. Listen, all organic. It is crazy. We should be at least be on 20,000 by now. I'm sure 2022 we will kick on. I'm probably winding a few people because they keep touching me out, but sorry, it keeps falling off. But yeah, I tell you what, maybe my head is actually that size, and that's why my cap keeps going to the side. Maybe my head is 50p settings. Maybe my head's got 50p settings. Maybe I've got 50p head. Swag, people. Swag, as they say. Fran, you and my cap. Listen, I'm taking it off. I've not shaved me. I'm taking it off. That's all it needed. Fran, your cap's doing me head in. It's driving me nuts. It's off. I've lost it. It's off. Arteta settings. It's off. Pepe, take the cap off. Sort your job out. You get that Aubameyang. Take that gold wrap off your car and sort yourself out. That's how we've got to move, people. That's how we've got to boost. Let's get 100 likes, people. Let's get to 100 likes. So, again, Aubameyang, all right? I just think he's cushy. No. Roy PB, listen, good support. Thanks for shouting me out. All nice, kind words. Love it. All kind words. All very, very kind words. And I love the support. Some new people in the chat today, which is great. Oh, here we go. It didn't take you lot long, did it? I've been called all sorts. By the way, the names that I get called, I'm all right with. Lacazette at times, Henry at times, Joe Budden, Pep. I actually get called a Pep quite a lot, which is really strange. But I do get called Pep a lot. And obviously Waffling has seen it. Frank got the Pep. it's just because I must have the same head shape as Pep. Pep settings. Absolute Pep settings. So Aubameyang, people. Aubameyang. We're going off topic a little bit. Are we being harsh on Aubameyang? Trezeguet. Are we being harsh on Aubameyang? Or you know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. Yesterday is finished. Yesterday's done. I'm not at history settings. It's always nice. But yesterday's done. We can't do anything. We never get that time back. What you did yesterday, no one cares. Does anyone care that I was a footballer? Certain amount. But not many. Not many people. So it's about today. And I think we've got a problem with Aubameyang that a lot of people think he should have a more respect and we should take our time with him more because of the things that he's doing. Wait there, someone's just at my door. I don't know if I've locked my wife out. Wait there, so she couldn't cut the stream. I'm back, peeps. I'm back. I locked the wife outside so she couldn't cut the stream. Not really, jokes. She cut the stream the other week. I thought it was Arteta at the door or Aubameyang. But, I mean, Onyx Lens has put not being harsh. Abba has been poor. I love Abba, but we got to keep it real. He's crap right now. He's a grown man. He can take it. And you hit it bang on. That's the reality of football. As I was saying, last season or the season before or whatever it was, he can't keep living off that. As fans, we can't keep saying, yeah, but he did this. Because you're quickly forgotten. You're quickly forgotten. So, what do we do, people, though? What do we do? Because clearly for me, one, he's not happy with what's going on at the football club. He's not happy that Arteta is in control of this club. The kid's only about 4 years younger than Arteta. And he's probably thinking, I was better than you, done more than you, and you're trying to tell me to play this way, and no one else in the team likes what you're asking them to do. That's human nature. Even if you don't know he's doing it, it's a subconscious mindset that's what we would do, unless we're aware of it. Okay? And even if we're aware of it, it's still hard not to do. I truly believe that we are going to have another player who just runs his contract out. Runs his contract out. Sway, keeps going to Yanamize, keeps getting a different rap, spraying his hairline on, multicoloured clothes, lines in his head top until the guy's 40. He's set. He's a legend at Gabon. He bowls around London. Everyone knows who he is. He's not going to have this guy, Arteta, who's clueless and making him look like an idiot because he's not giving him any service. He can't score no goals. And he's thinking, it's you. You are the problem, not me. You're the problem. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. Unless he allows Aubameyang to be Aubameyang and makes a team around him that we're going to go forward. He's not going to do that because he's 32 years old. His time's done. In 24 months, Aubameyang will be finished. He may go and live and play in America. He'll be finished. In 2 years, Aubameyang's finished. We're never going to get the old Aubameyang back. So what do you do now that you have him at the football club? What do you do, people? Put it in the chat. What do you do if you're Arteta now with Aubameyang? The Lambo Rups are also terrible optics for Abba. Even if Arteta is the worst manager in our history, it smacks a lot of focus from the player when the numbers dry up, but they're still... Listen, it's human nature. We did it with Paul Pogba. We do it with everyone. If Paul Pogba's having an horrific time and he dyes his ear blue, what's the first thing people would say? Now, we say it as a joke, but subconsciously, people actually dislike a player because of that. When I was a kid, you couldn't wear coloured boots. I remember getting a pair of the R9, Chrome R9 from Harrods because you couldn't get them from nowhere. As Pro Direct didn't sell them nothing. And the manager said to me, you can't wear them. You can't wear them. You say, why? Because he said the minute you have a bad game, people are going to just say, oh, he's a kid with the chrome boots. He thinks he's Ronaldo. Because it's how football fans look at players. Now, kids look at players like, oh, he's cool. He's cool. He's cool. I like him. Regardless of whether he's a good footballer. Football people look at him and say, you can be as cool as you want. But if you ain't doing nothing on the pitch, it actually makes you look worse. Graham Souness settings. Now, Graham Souness, I love Graham Souness. He's a little bit harsh at times. He's very biased. However, what he says are pure facts of what happens in football clubs. I've told you the story when I was a kid, when I was an agent, and we had a kid at Liverpool, and he signs his pro, and the guy who's head of the academy or whatever he got, I think he's working under Klopp now. He wasn't at the club when this kid signed for Liverpool. So he signed for Liverpool at 15. He gets a pro contract already within the contract that he signed, but the pro contract can't kick in until he's 17 because it's the law. Okay. He says to him, if I was here, you would never have got that contract. So we knew straight away that there was a problem with this guy. So the route towards the first team Liverpool, which had to go through this guy, was always going to be a problem. Always going to be a problem. Check this out. Pulls the agents, or pulls one of my colleagues at the time, etc., and says, these are the types of cars that he should get when he passes his test. And reeled off names of cars that this first year pro should get. And he's like, I don't want them cars. Like, I don't want a Corsa or an A-Class Mercedes. You know what the young kids are like. So in the end, he goes and gets a CLA AMG 63 for his first car. Absolute crazy. Insurance is through the roof, right? They say, this guy, you don't get rid of that car, I'll make sure that you have no pathway to Liverpool first team. That's what he said. So it's pure bullying. It happens in football. So what Souness touches on things that happen in football clubs. When I talk about the way that Arteta is towards players, okay, it's because I've witnessed it, been in it. It's happened to me. I've seen it, and it will never change. Never change. I can tell you little stories like this. Pepe may get the ball, cut inside, spank it top bin. Little cheeky Megs, bang, spank it top bin. Saka may do something similar, put it in the top bin, and Arteta and the coaching staff might go, whoa. And Pepe's standing there and thinking, why have they not done that for me? That's deliberate tactics. That's deliberate tactics that coaches and managers do. And then they ask that player, they'll ask Pepe to on a Saturday go and run around for me. It's not going to happen, is it? And as much as you say to a player, listen, it's for your own good. You never know who's watching. It's for your own good. They still don't want to do it because they think that they're running around for the manager when ultimately they are running around for themselves. Been there, done it, seen it. It's just football, the way it works. Managers ignoring players. 4 players walking down a corridor. Manager says hello to the first, ignores the second, and says hello to the third and the fourth. The second player knows what's going on, but what can you do? You can't go home and say, oh, by the way, the manager's not very nice to me. Just like you can't go home and say when teachers are horrible or when someone's subconscious racism towards you. You can't go home and cry about it. That's the reality of football, people. That's the reality of football. And that's how business works. And football's ruthless. And you've got to go home to your family or on your own, and if you're from another country, and deal with this And people on the outside world may not understand that's why you're not playing well. There's so many different things with these players. And each Pepe, Aubameyang and Partey will have different reasons of why it's not quite working for them at the moment. But you know what? They'll probably all have the same conversation. They'll probably all have the same conversation. What is this clown doing? What is this clown asking us to do? I know. He's telling me to get on the ball. Did he not watch Atletico Madrid? Aubameyang turns around and says, he's telling me to always run off the shoulder. I'm 32, swag, gold Lamborghini, 300k. Amigos. Then he says to Pepe, Pepe's like, what? I'm not running back. I didn't run back in France. I'm not running back now. Then all of a sudden, it's on the manager again. Listen, I could pick and talk about this all day. I'm hoping to be on Talk is Cheap soon. We don't know the subject on AFTV. It will be my debut. So I'm Curtis and Laurie desperate to get me on. And we're going to sort out a day. So I don't know what that episode is going to be like, but I'm going to be reserved, but I'm going to have to say it how it is, balanced, not kind of I told you so, because I don't really want to come across like that. So it's going to be interesting. But Migos Settings. I love the Migos. The first album, Culture, unbelievable. Don't really listen to them as much now, just because I'm older and I changed my life a little bit. But yeah, Migos, swag. I'm 32. Swag. Where's the animals? Which rap? And Pepe's like, come and pick me up. Yeah. Listen, it's a dangerous world that they live in at the moment. But again, people, Fran, make sure you check what Laurie's drinking. Me and Laurie are going to have a conversation. I'm going to have to give him some banter. I'm going to have to banter him on his own show. Gunnar Dana said, if you were ABBA, you would be seeing your mates being shafted. Lacquer, Maintenance, Guendouzi, Pepe. That would pee anyone off, to be fit. Exactly. But I'm thinking, what's he doing? He's getting rid of my mates. He's getting rid of all these players. I'm going to tell you a story now quickly. Jack Honori time, but because I've got to go. I remember, because there's a lot of racism in football, I remember a coach, right, an assistant manager who didn't want to sign me, but the manager wanted to sign me. Okay? But he didn't want to sign me because me and him did not get on in a previous encounter. When I played against this team, the assistant manager said something and we had a few words, etc. Anyway, this team then wants to sign me. Assistant manager don't want to sign me. I go to the club, talking to the manager. The manager tells me the manager don't want me to sign you, but you are the player that I want. So I'm like, okay, well, the manager wants me. I get in there. All of a sudden, right, we've gone from 3 or 4 black lads, or mixed race, right, to about 8. We've got about 8, 9 black lads. Some from Derby, some from Forest, from a couple from Spurs. And I'm thinking, okay, this is good. Same thing happens all the time. If a group of black lads are in the corner and they're getting on with themselves, a lot of people will turn around and say, no, we're not having that. You probably don't know that, but this is what happens. We're not having that. And you're like, why? Because you tend to go with what you're more familiar with. You're drawn to with what you're familiar with people from similar backgrounds, etc. You've got more things to talk about. So we just thought it was normal. Anyway, about 2 months later, we're in the warm-up. We're in a warm-up in a game. And I'm thinking, where's four the black boys ain't here? I'm thinking 4 the black boys ain't here. What's going on? So there's only me, there's a couple of black lads. And we're in the warm-up. I hear this coach say, I'm not lying. I hear this coach say, we got rid of, we got rid of 3 of them. There's only a few more left. Hands down, I'm not lying. So obviously, we're warming up before a game. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm like this. Yeah, I'm like this. I'm ready for this brother on the pitch, but I can't. Obviously, we've got a game to play. I go and tell the coach, I tell him, nah, that would never happen. It wouldn't say that, Fran, would it? Wouldn't say, will it be your word against his? And I'm like, you know what? Wasting my time. I'm wasting my time here. That is the world of football at time. Is it as bad now? I doubt it very much. But then again, you've got cricket. You've now got other coaches. Listen, it's crazy. And it can work both ways as well. It can work both ways. But normally it's on the minority, wherever you are. But these are the things that happen, what you don't know about, you know? It's a crazy world out there. It's a crazy world out there. It really, really is. Let's have a look at a few of your comments before I love you and leave you all. An hour and 20 minutes, people. What a stream. What a stream. The streams are getting better and better. Better and better. Nobody cares when Neymar and Mbappe dyes their hair because they perform, and kids actually want to dye their hair as well rather than mock them. It all starts and finishes on the pitch. Absolutely bang on NR11. You can get away with those things. You can get away with those things. Honestly. Saliba ain't coming back. No, he's not coming back. That's for sure. Gunnar Dan, I think I've seen that one. Thank you for the comment. By the way, the comments today and the interaction has been unbelievable. Like. That company, shadow racism, subconscious racism at times. Well, people don't even know they're doing it. We've probably all done it at some stage to someone or some race, and we don't even know we've done it. Fran, clearly up to you, but consider staying away from FT business. You don't need it. Yeah, listen, I get that. You know, even Curtis just goes on there, does the one show, etc. I understand a lot of people are not massive fans on the AFTV. I get and I get it. I get it. There's some things on there that people don't like. I don't watch it a lot, to be honest. I do respect them, what they've done to create that, you know, from the beginning. But like I say, I do understand a lot of people don't like that. So again, thank you for the comment, for looking at me. I really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. Moon has put, I was called the N-word by teachers at school in the 70s. It was funny. Quickly. I always say quickly, and then we're here for another 20 minutes. I was telling my wife the other day how we used to get hit in school. And she was like, what? Because in the UK now, you can't happen. But it stopped in the 80s. So I know a couple of like Chris and them, like, who come in here. They would have got hit at school. And I remember I remember my grandparents used to watch a TV show that was just calling Indians and black people. It was a racist TV show that was on the national television. And I'd be sat there, but I didn't know. When you're a kid, I don't know. Like, it's only when I start getting to my teens and I'm thinking, well, my black mates before used to behave like this, and my white mates behave like this. Maybe I'm supposed to be my black mates. And then I got it. But it's crazy. I mean, racism will never go away. It's just something, unfortunately, that will always be here. However, a lot of people are just misunderstood, lack of education, and don't even know that they're doing it at the time. They really don't. So, you know, that's me. And the best thing you can do is pray for them. That's for sure. Fran, watch the Amazon Bayern Munich documentary. Some real serious players there with elite mentality. German football always seem to have a very strong mentality, don't they? They really, really do. They really do. So, again, people, unbelievable chat, unbelievable stream. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to love you, as always. God bless you and your families. And I'm going to see you what we're on Friday. It's my son's birthday tomorrow, but I probably will be on. So maybe early again. Great numbers today. Absolutely unbelievable numbers today. And again, make sure you look after yourselves. Make sure you look after your families. And I'll see you all tomorrow. You take care.